Hello students, in our previous video we have done up till the path to a constitution. Now I'll move towards the next topic, that is the Constituent Assembly. The drafting of the constitution was done by an assembly of elected representatives called the Constituent Assembly. The members of the Constituent Assembly were the members of the Constitution. There was no universal adult franchise at that time. As we have studied before, that British government gave the leniency to conduct elections at the state level and choose our leaders. So, the members of the Constituent Assembly were chosen by the members of Provincial Legislative Council. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in July 1946 and its first meeting was held in December 1946. It means the process towards making our constitution started from December 1946. At that time, India was not divided, but in 1947, country was divided into India and Pakistan. So, the Constituent Assembly was also divided into the Constituent Assembly of India and that of Pakistan. Before partition, the members of the Constituent Assembly were 389, and after partition, there were 299 members who wrote the Indian Constitution. After several rounds of thorough discussion, the Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26 November 1949, but it came into effect on 26 January 1950 because in 1929 Jawaharlal Nehru passed Purna Swaraj resolution, that is, he proclaimed that on 26 January we would be independent. It didn't happen on 26 January and we got independence on 15 August 1947. So, to mark the importance of 26 January, our constitution was implemented on that day and we celebrate it as Republic Day every year. Now the question is, why should we accept the constitution made by this assembly more than 50 years ago? The reasons are, first reason is its legitimacy. Many countries of the world have had to rewrite their constitution afresh because it was not accepted by all. In India, several groups have questioned some provisions of the constitution, but no large social group or political party has ever questioned the legitimacy of the constitution itself. Second reason is the Constituent Assembly represented the people of India. As we have already seen that there was no universal adult franchise at that time. So, the members of the Constituent Assembly were elected mainly by the members of the existing provincial legislatures The members of the provincial legislatures were from all the regions of the country, so the Constituent Assembly got the members from all the regions. There were members from the Congress party and from other parties too. And there were also members who opposed the policies of Congress. Even if universal adult franchise was there, such a diverse constituent assembly would not have become possible. Final reason is the process by which the constitution was made. The Constituent Assembly worked in a systematic manner. First, some basic principles were decided and agreed upon. Then, a drafting committee chaired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar prepared a draft constitution for discussion. After that, several rounds of thorough discussion and debate took place on the draft of constitution. The meetings were held, the members debated and deliberated for 114 days. More than 2000 amendments were considered. These debates provide the rationale behind why fundamental rights, reservations, and other provisions of the Constitution were accepted. Now, we are going to study about the guiding values of the Indian Constitution. We will see the ideological or philosophical base for the Constitution. We can understand it by reading the views of some of our major leaders on our Constitution. What the Constitution says about its own philosophy is reflected in the preamble of the Constitution. We'll start with the dream and the promise. When our Constitution was framed, there were some dreams and promises, and on that basis, our Constitution is a successful Constitution. If we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, he was not the member of the Constituent Assembly, so he didn't participate in the making of Constitution. Yet, there were many members who followed his vision. Gandhiji's ideas are reflected in our Constitution. Gandhiji in his speech talked about social upliftment. He believed that our Constitution should be such where the backward class should get chance to come forward. He believed that the curse of untouchability should come to an end. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the chairman of the drafting committee, played a key role in the making of the Constitution. But he had a different understanding of how inequalities could be removed. He often bitterly criticized Mahatma Gandhi and his vision. B.R. Ambedkar's idea for eliminating inequality was different from Gandhiji. Both the leaders wanted good for the country, but their ideological stand was different. B.R. Ambedkar believed that in order to uplift the backward class, reservation is a must. Ideas and principles of many leaders are reflected in our Constitution.